All right. What is up, Utah fans? This is Joseph back with the Utah Utes Football Digest. And it is good to be back, guys. I know it has been probably over a month now since I made a video. So, seriously, sorry about the delays. This does wind up taking quite a bit of my life and quite a bit of my time. So, as much as I love football and love Utah football, there are times where it is nice to spend a little bit of time away from this. Just being honest with you guys, I love doing it, but it did feel good to get away and get some rest. But because of that rest, I'm not going to be phoning it in. At least, hopefully, I'll be energized again and excited to make you guys content. And I'm really excited to be here talking to you guys tonight. So I won't touch any more on that, but excited to dive in. So tonight we're going to talk about Taeshaun Lyons, a wide receiver transfer from Washington. It's been a couple weeks, a little while at least, since he actually committed to Utah. But I do want to make sure I break down these guys so you guys feel pretty informed on what we're getting in these players. He should be a fun one. He was a pretty big time recruit and was on a team that went to the national championship this past year. Stacked wide receiver room. So he was able to learn from some of the best wide receivers in college football. I'm excited to break him down. Like I said, before we dive in, guys, please make sure you smash that like button. Also, comment down below as we break it down. What do you guys think of Taeshaun Lyons? Do you think he's going to be amazing? Do you think he needs some time to develop? I'd love to hear what you guys are thinking. Also, if you haven't already, subscribed to the channel. We put out a ton of Utah Utes football content. I know the past month it hasn't been a ton of volume, but that'll start up again over time. And as we get closer to the season, closer to spring ball, that'll ramp up quite a bit. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Also, if you could, share the video with a friend. That goes a long way and it means a lot to me. And on that note, let's go ahead and dive in and let's talk about Taeshaun Lyons. Okay, guys, so take a look here. And just so you guys know, when it comes to his college stats, Tayshawn just finished his freshman year. And he didn't really play at all. So I'm pretty sure we're good to go ahead. And he has, a full slate of eligibility left. Should be a great opportunity for Utah to mold this guy and let him thrive on this team. So the reason I bring that up, just no college stats yet, but the guy was a 4-star rated transfer, the number 156 overall transfer. And then he was also a 4-star prospect coming out of high school, number 228 nationally. So really good player, guys. Let's go ahead and dive in just to give you guys an idea what we're looking at. Where can I find? If we go to his recruiting profile, we can actually see what kind of offers this kid had. So, he wasn't just some guy. This is a legit big time prospect. So, check it out: Notre Dame, Arizona, ASU, Boston College, BYU, Colorado, Fresno, Oregon, Oregon State, Penn State. Penn State's a real good school. Texas A&M, right? Washington State, Utah. The reason I bring all this up, guys, is to give you an idea of the type of player we're getting. Even though he's a year out of high school, we're still getting a guy that's a super talented, super high ceiling player. So I'm excited to dive in, break him down, and talk about him. In a second here, I'm going to go over his high school tape so we can, get an idea of where this kid was a year or so ago and what we might be getting in Taeshaun Lyons. All right, guys. So here he is, Taeshaun Lyons, 10 games, senior year. This is high school senior year. So about, a year or two ago, 1,800 yards a senior year. That's 100 yards a game, 20 touchdowns. Let's check him out here. Bottom of your screen, jump ball, boom. Moss is the kid. Let's watch that back. The guy's got some length and he knows how to use it, but you guys are going to see in the coming highlights. Oh, well, actually, let's actually watch this. This is where you start to realize where his real skill set is. Look at this nasty cutback. This is where he thrives. Once the ball is in his hands, he is nasty after the catch. And the rest of the highlights really start to show us. Check this out. The guy's up on him. Look at this. He literally throws this kid back. Watch this highlight again. He throws this kid back on the press and just says, yo, you don't belong on the field with me. He cuts it up. Look at his agility, guys. His ability to cut back, break tackles, vision. This is a bit of a wild play, but watch this. He decelerates, lets the block happen, and just accelerates. Look at this, guys. Watch this back. Look, he is clearly the fastest player on the field in almost every game he plays. It is very impressive, his ability to start and stop. So take a look here. You'll see it a lot here. This is a punt return. Look at his ability, dude. Look at these cuts. I mean, who he reminds me of is it's a high comparison, a high level comparison. Really reminds me of a Deshaun Jackson, guys. Just a guy that is real quick to cut in between players and just accelerates like it's nobody's business. Check it out. Another one here, guys. A screenplay, bottom right of your screen, catches it, goes upfield, dices between guys, and then once he hits that open field, he's kind of even playing around there. You don't love that he's getting a little taunting so early in the play here, right here, but it's okay. I mean, he's so much faster than these guys, and he he collects himself and finishes off the play. And this is him playing a little bit of safety or cornerback here, little interception action. You got to love that. But that's Taeshaun Lyons, guys. We'll pause the video there. Big time playmaker and a guy that has real wheels and real ability to accelerate in between players. Very, very impressive, this guy. I honestly, I wasn't sure before I started diving into him just how much I'd like him, but I think he brings something to Utah that's really exciting and something I don't think we've had at a high level in a bit. And I'll touch on that more in a second. All right, and this will be the only video I actually make tonight, guys. I am going to make a video like I promised on every commit Utah's gotten. That'll take me a little bit of time. I have a kid and I'm about to have another kid. So it's a busy life. And I have a job where I manage a lot of people. A lot going on, right? A lot going on in my life. But I am going to make all those videos. I promise I'll get those out to you guys. Real quick, one thing I do want to start doing, I think this will be a really fun thing to go over with you guys, is football skills and athleticism, and giving, anytime we get a transfer or anytime we get a commit, giving them an overall grade based on what I think of them. And I'm going to let this develop over time. But for now, I'm going to do it on a 1 to 10 scale. So on a 1 to 10 scale, you got to look at the bottom end of that 1 to 10, where it's like a 1 or a 2. We're talking about a guy when we're looking at the overall, it's a guy that's a real project, is going to need a lot of work, could have a lot of potential, but is going to need a lot of work. And then as we get to the higher end, we're talking about guys that can be elite, immediate impact, high level players. And in the middle, we're talking about guys that are either, average starters. So that's sort of ideal. We'll kind of fine tune what all that means as we go. But, understand I'm going to take their football skills and their athleticism. We'll meet in the middle and figure out what their overall grade is. Taeshaun Lyons will be the first one we go over here. So I am going to say for Taeshaun Lyons, I am going to give his athleticism a 9. And the reason I'm giving his athleticism a 9, I don't plan on giving out tons of 9s and tons of 10s, but his ability to stop and start, acceleration, deceleration, you can see that that's what made him a 4-star player. He weaves in between players and looks like he's not stressed or not thinking, like he's not worried that these guys are going to catch him. Like he just knows I need to weave between these guys, find a lane, and take off. Super impressive acceleration, deceleration, and downhill speed. Really impressed. I think his athleticism is a 9. It's very, very good. Football skills, it was tough to see too much. We saw some plays where I didn't love it. Like he had the jump ball, and I think he did a good job on the jump ball, but I didn't like, where that he didn't high point the ball perfectly. You got to turn around, you high point the ball, you bring it in, but that's pretty nitpicky. I'd say because we don't have a sample size that I feel comfortable grading him on with football skills, I'm going to go with the 7. But there was a lot of good there. Like he has really good football skills and his ability to read his blocks, to let his blocks lead him. Very good player. Don't get me wrong here. A 7's a good grade. And then a 9 athleticism. So I'm going to give Taeshaun Lyons an 8 overall on the grading scale. That's a 9 athleticism, 7 football skills. And I put that somewhere as a good to very good starter. Like that's what I would expect from him. Will he be that right away? Great question. Can he absolutely be that very quickly? Yes. I think the tape shows that. Think about it, guys. He was in a wide receiver room at Washington with Roma Dunze, McMillan, Polk. Like this was a monster group, right? So don't feel like we're getting like the bottom of the barrel from Washington. This is a very very good player in Taeshaun Lyons. So before we get out of here, guys, please make sure you smash that like button. Also, comment down below. What would you grade Taeshaun Lyons on his athleticism and his football skills, 1 to 10? And then what would that overall be? Also, what do you think? Do you think he's going to be a guy that is an immediate starter? Do you think he'll be a rotational guy? I'd love to hear your opinion. And if you could subscribe to the channel, we put out a ton of Utah Utes football content. It's the place you want to be. And make sure you share the video with a friend. I'm out of here. Go Utes.